As we go through these exercises, I'm going to call your attention.
So, why am I doing the crazy warm-up? Today, this morning, I get to be the guest on the National Wake-Up Call. For all Team Beachbody coaches. That means this morning on the phone, I get to speak to potentially 500,000 people. And the message today is about finishing 2016 strong. And I don't care if you're in my profession or not, this call is near and dear to my heart because it's something that changed my life about going past and beyond what you think you can do. I'm just so fired up and excited to share this. So I just wanted to kind of document this as we're going through it as well and allow you, whether or not you caught this call live or not, to be able to revisit, and regardless of what you're going through in life right now, right, that you can do so much in a focused, concentrated amount of time if you have an intention, right? If you are deliberate about things, if you're laser focused. And so I'm excited to share that, and I'm about to have to call in here in 2 minutes. So let's go.
Hey, well, listen, coaches, there was a spoiler alert, obviously, and letting everybody know, and of course it was broadcast out that Jimmy was going to be on the call this morning, and I shared a little bit about what he was going to talk about. But let me give you a little bit of background before we bring him on. He's a superstar diamond coach, 4-time elite. He's a member of the Million Club. He started coaching, I think, before the rotary phone was even invented, before Facebook was around. I think Fire was invented then, but maybe not the wheel. He started back in June of 2007, which really isn't all that long ago in Jeff Hill years. But a great contributor to our network, a great star. Jimmy, are you on the phone with us?
I am. Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can hear you just great. Welcome, and thanks, I know, for all the preparation and time you've put into getting ready for this call. But back in 2007, I mean, like, that was a while ago.
It was. It feels like a while ago.
Well, that's good, though. When Sandy started talking about 10 years, I thought, man, time moves fast. But you think also the miles that have been covered, the history that has been created, the lives that have been impacted, it's a pretty remarkable thing that we've been about. And you've certainly got your fingerprints on that.
It's been an awesome ride.
Well, listen, let's jump in and let everybody who may not know your story, give a little bit of your backstory as to how you came to be a Beachbody coach.
Absolutely. I started, as so many other really successful coaches do, and part of what I want to talk about today is I was a raving fan because before finding Beachbody, I was 100 pounds overweight. I was a 3-time college dropout. I found myself having to move back in with my parents in my early 20s, as humbling as that was, and really didn't have a lot of direction in my life. And I had a coworker that was losing weight, and I just watched him, and he was consistent. And he shared with me one of the products back in the day of Power 90, and little did I know that little DVD, almost 10 years later, we're sitting here, I'm on the phone with you, and my life has been completely changed.
Well, I don't think it's been completely changed just because you're on the phone with me, but I'd like to think, I'd like to think that. But so, Jimmy, today we're talking. I mean, Sandy started out on today talking about it. It's December 12th. We've got 2-3 weeks left in the year. We've got a great 2017 planned. We always talk about finishing strong, set up strong finishes, create the foundation for a strong beginning of the year. But it's more than platitudes, and it's more than rah-rah. When you peel away the activity below those words, there's really some science and activity, if you will. And I know that's some of what you're going to talk about. So I'm going to toss it to you to let you share what your experience has taught you.
Absolutely. And Jeff set it up so well that, I've been a coach since 2007. So I want to take you back, not quite that far, but the year was about 2008. And I'm going to take you to New York City, the heart of the world, right? And there was a very young, confident, maybe a little brash actor living in New York City that was strolling through Rockefeller Center. Now, as I said before, out-of-work actor, former 100-pound overweight, 3-time college dropout. So some people may go, why was this guy, why was he so confident strolling through Rockefeller Center in 2008? It's because I had an opportunity that day. I had become a coach in 2007 and had made really a big leap of faith to go from New York City to fly out to Los Angeles. First ever time I ever went cross-country to go to the very first Beachbody Coach Summit, which was very different than what you probably experienced this last year, what you're looking forward to going to in New Orleans in the upcoming year. You know, there was no YouTube videos letting us know what it looked like or great stories, and I made that trek basically because I needed to know this thing was for real. I knew that it had changed my body, but I wanted to be in the room with people and learn a little more about what this was all about. And there was where my belief system really in what we did was solidified, and I made a relationship with Carl Deichler briefly, and that led to an opportunity in New York City where I had been asked to come and audition for a future fitness program. Now, at this point, I was really excited. I mean, Beachbody had changed my life. I had started with Power 90 with Tony Horton in tiny little shorts and 2 people on his sides and a very simple but crazy effective workout that had helped me lose 100 pounds. And then I was one of the very first people I knew that had done P90X, like when it first came out and nobody knew what it was and it scared us all to death and we were awful at it. By this point, I'd probably done 2 or 3 rounds of P90X, and it completely changed my body, and more so than just changed my body, it had changed who I was. I was a different creature. Not a lot of confidence in that 100-pound, 3-time college dropout guy that was me previously. And I walked into a gym that day, and I remember being so, like, pro-Beachbody. I was wearing a P90X tank top, and I walked in to meet a gentleman sitting on the floor with a hat turned sideways, and my friend Tanya asked me, have you met Shaun? It was my very first time ever meeting Shaun T, and I got to go into what had been an insanity test group before anybody knew what insanity was, and there was an entire gym full of people who had been doing this workout for 30 days. They were part of a test group. They were there to transform their body, but I knew why I was there. I was laser focused that this was my one opportunity to potentially be a part of what would be a revolutionary fitness program before any of us really realized what a big deal this would be. And as I walked in there, I knew that I had one shot at this. And I was really intimidated because everybody else in there had already been doing this test group for 30 days. So they knew what was coming. They knew the moves. But, you know, being probably a little overconfident in my P90X shirt, which I don't know if Shaun appreciated that. I know our trainers all support each other, but there's a little healthy competition there as well. And the music started, and I didn't know what hit me. Like, everything was so fast, and any previous success that I had had with P90X, this was just a whole different way of training. And I remember in my head before anything, everything started moving, and I didn't have time. I was just in reactionary mode. And I was just trying to keep up and looking around, and I thought, Jimmy, all you can do is not look at the people next to you that have had more experience, that may know this better than you. You can run your race right now. You know why you're here. This is all foreign, but just keep moving. And I remember, and for any of you that have ever done Insanity or any one of our programs, there's always a point where you're doing a move, you're getting towards the end, and the instructor starts counting down 3, 2, 1 before that break. Well, it's a little different when you're working out with Shaun in a test group because his 3, 2, 1 gives you a chance to get water, but then you count 3, 2, 1, and it's time to go again. And I just knew that most people, I mean, we're all guilty of this, when that 3, 2, 1 countdown starts happening, most of us start taking our break at 3. We don't finish all the way through to the 3, the 2, the 1 to complete it. Instead of challenging ourselves to say, wow, how many extra reps can I get? Can I finish this all the way through? We just go, well, it's close enough, right? We got to the 3, 2, 1. I need this break. I mean, my legs are burning. I can barely breathe. And we don't finish it all the way through. But I had a goal that day. I had a goal that I thought, what do I need more? Do I need to go over there and get my water more? Do I need this break more? Or do I need to reach this goal in this very limited window, this very limited amount of time that opportunity was going to knock once? And, you know, I wasn't the best person in class that day. I definitely didn't know the moves, but I knew that I gave it my best, and I squeezed every last rep out of every extra second that Shaun gave us that day. And, as I look back on that and got a chance to be a part of that DVD, even when that class ended, I didn't know that I made it. It was really funny because sometimes we do work. We work really, really hard, and there's no evidence that our hard work is going to reward us at all. Like right in that moment that we're just like, we're drenched, we're exhausted, we've pushed beyond what we thought we could ever do. And, bells don't come on, the whistles don't go off and say, congratulations, you're now a part of this, or you've gone to this part of your business, or you've lost this much weight. And for me, that really was my aha moment as a coach. It just wrapped up so many things, what we do in our business, with the fitness side, with the business side, with who we, I mentioned that this changed me as a person as well. And so I really thought about that day as I knew I was going to talk to you, and I thought, let me break this down. Let me take that day in New York City, and why was that the springboard for me having a successful 9-year career as a coach and all the nice resume things that Jeff said at the beginning of this. And I said, what 3 steps can I give you to say, how do you really finish strong? What does that mean to squeeze out and not be the person that takes the break in the 3-2-1? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're at the 3-2-1 time of the year. There are 20 days left in this year, and a lot of people are going, close enough. We'll try again the next round. And you're already ready to look forward to the next year. And I'm going to challenge you not to do that. So I got 3 steps for you right now, and I know you're taking notes because smart people take notes. And number 1, I mentioned I was confident going into this. Why was I confident? Because I'd done a full round, multiple full rounds of Power 90. I'd done multiple full rounds of P90X. And confidence starts with the products. We've been reminded over and over again, whether it was leadership, Carl on call the other day, is that the most successful coaches we have, and I am a testament to this, are the raving fans, are the people whose lives have been absolutely changed by our products. And so if you think about that, you're like, man, I wish I had better more long-term customers. I wish my challengers really fell in love with these programs. Gosh, I really would love to have coaches on my team that just are raving fans. And so the first tip I'm going to tell you is to attract raving fans, you have to be a raving fan, right? You're going to attract what you are. So that starts with you for the next 20 days going all in on the fitness, going all in on the products. Are you pushing play every day? Are you squeezing out every little extra rep in the 3-2-1 of whatever program you're doing right now? Are you drinking your Shakeology every day? I mean, these things sound so simple, but it's in these little tiny details that it's easy to skip a day, it's easy to coast a little bit. And then I'm going to also challenge you in these next 20 days, if you're going all in with this fitness, is document why. Social media is such a powerful way that if I could document for 20 days, if somebody's following you consistently, right? I mentioned the reason I changed my life is the guy that I was watching was consistent. And what would that person, that silent army of people, they may not like the post or immediately reach out to you, but I'm going to tell you, there's people watching you that you don't know is watching you. And in the next 20 days, if you went all in on finishing a program, doing a program, drinking your shake, and documenting why this is so important to you, even above and beyond, what that does for your waistline. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, what does it mean to finish strong? What does it mean to squeeze every last rep out of the business? And I wrote down here when I was thinking about you today was finish strong with your invites. Like the fact that so many people right now, it's just so easy to go, I'm going to wait till after the holidays. You're already anticipating that somebody's going to tell you that without giving them the opportunity. And I tell my coaches when they come into the businesses, we make a list together. And I hear this over and over and over again, is that so many people make this list. And I encourage them, like, don't make a list to prejudge whether or not they're going to be interested in being a challenger or being a coach on your team. But these are people that are going to help you find the people. Because think about this. Right now, that list that you maybe have and you've just never used, they're going to be a yes, they're going to be a not right now, or they're going to be a referral. That's the way I look at this. It's an opportunity for me to impact lives. So let's think about that. What does that look like? 20 days left in a year, if I went through my list and I'm willing to have 10 conversations a day, minimum, that's pretty easy on social media. I can send some people, hey, what's up? I can start 10 conversations a day, in between appointments, on my lunch break, first thing in the morning, later at night. There's ways to these little hidden time pockets in our day. 10 conversations a day over 20 days, that's 200 conversations about just checking in and seeing how's your year gone, seeing if somebody would be interested in joining your challenge. Hey, I don't know if you know what I do. I have a huge heart for others. I'm looking to help people finish the year strong. We've heard Carl talk about the end of year resolution. And then, or they will just ask, hey, I'm putting this group together because I have such a passion for helping other people change their lives towards the end of the year and starting 2017 strong. Do you know anybody that might want to get a jump on that instead of waiting till January? And if you told me you had 200 conversations, a percentage of those people are going to say yes. It's that most people aren't willing to, they're 3-2-1-ing it, right? They're not willing to squeeze every last rep and have those 200 conversations, those 10 conversations a day with people. And the third thing I wanted to point out was this.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yep.
Before you go on the phone, you're starting to cut out on us a bit.
Oh.
And I don't know if you're moving or if you've got something in front of the mic, but you're starting to get a little garbled. So stay close to the mic, if you would.
Am I better here?
You're better right there.
Okay. I will try not to pace.
Thank you.
And then the third point is, are you doing your personal development, right? 20 days of a mindset shift. And right now it's so easy to sit and wait, right? To sit and wait of, well, does corporate have an announcement coming out? Or what are some other coaches going to do? I'm just going to sit and wait and see what happens. And I'm going to challenge you to go 20 days for a mindset shift. You're taking on a big, important cause. Anytime we're going to do something above ourselves, we're going to do something bigger than us to impact lives, to really have a heart for other people, big resistance is going to come. It just goes hand in hand. 9 years of doing this, I'm just going to tell you, so don't be surprised when it comes. Don't be frustrated. I tell people every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do, more important than my workout, is I get something that sets my mindset right for the day. I have to attack my mind before my mind attacks me. It's real easy right now to just wait and see, to cross our arms and sit back and see what's going to happen next. Or you can create your own motivation and your own momentum. You can fight for you and your family and the reason that you're in this now, because the people that do that on their own are the ones that are going to see the success first. They're the ones that are going to change, that are going to shift the dynamic in their lives. So, and think about this. I had previous success. I know a lot of coaches feel this way right now. Man, I've had success before, and right now I'm struggling a little bit. Well, in my story, I had success with, Power 90. I had success with, P90X. I had success with P90X, and, but this, insanity was a new way for me to be challenged. I couldn't, I had to adapt. And so I'm going to encourage you right now that just because something worked in the past and maybe something shifted a little bit, be willing to change, be willing to adapt, be willing to try something new going forward as well. And really use this last 20 days to not use excuses, to not say, well, this didn't, this used to work in the past, but it doesn't anymore, and move forward as well. And Jeff, I really feel that if people will just embrace this last 20 days to go in and really finish this 3-2-1 instead of taking that early break, and I'll wrap up with this. Think about this. Why when we see, like, the infomercials, I'm going to use an example like the Insanity infomercial. People may think 3-2-1 is not that big a deal, but there's always that before and after in the infomercial where the one person is shredded after one round. And if we think about, take the person that starts their break on 3 of the 3-2-1, and let's take another individual who absolutely squeezes every last rep out of the 3-2-1 over 60 days of insanity. Think of how many extra hidden reps that person that pushed through got that the other person didn't. They committed the same amount of time. They had the same hope and want to, but one person got the results and one person didn't. And it just came down to being able to squeeze out those last little reps every day. And I know, Jeff, if people will do this, they can change their lives in the next 20 days and push forward into an amazing 2017 as well.
Well, Jimmy, I love the 3-2-1 analogy. Before you got there, I was almost unmuted myself and said, okay, this is it. This is the 3-2-1 moment that we're in right now. But let me put you on the spot for a minute, Jimmy, for just before we wrap out here is, one of the things that you mentioned I thought was extremely, lots of the things you've said were extremely insightful, but one thing that was key was you talked about the number of conversations. You threw out this idea, 200 conversations, and I don't know whether it's 200 conversations, but if you look at the number, you've had experience since 2017 of having to talk to a great number of people, and the results or the number of people that are actually interested. What does that ratio look like for you? So if you were saying to a new coach, look, I've had to talk to X number in order to have Y number be part of my business, and as I've gotten better, this is what it's looked like. Have you ever kind of done the math on that?
Golly, I'm not the strongest stats guy, to be real honest with you, but the analogy I always go to, and I found it to be true in my business, is just I look at it like I look at a deck of playing cards. And am I willing to flip over 52 to find 4 aces? And sometimes that becomes, hey, that's awesome. It's not the right time for you. Do you know anybody that does? And I found people that are really ready right now, not because I reached out to that person, but I reached out to the person on my list or the person that I ran to on social media that said it wasn't really ready for them right now. But you know what? I do have a cousin, or I do know this person. And so I don't know that I know a hard and fast stat for every 20 you're going to get 2. But I just really go into each of those conversations really with the other person's interest in mind also. Instead of a predetermined, I'm going to get them, this is the challenge pack I want them to start, or I want them to be a coach, is really to go and listen, see where they are, and see what their needs are, and then present. We have such an amazing library of things to help people. And so it's just a matter of willing to continue to turn those cards and really be invested in each of the people that you talk to, and those aces are going to pop up.
Yeah, but I think that even is a great analogy, and I think the critical aspect of it is that you're willing to turn over the 52 cards to find the 4 aces. And in these next 20 days, what does that deck of cards look like for you? What are you willing to do from a connection, from an invitation, and helping people make the decision? Because that's where the criticality of this thing is putting yourself in the position to talk to people, and then the actual inviting. And like you say, if you stop at 3, then you're done. Right now. And the most successful businesses just don't stop at 3. They take it all the way down. So,
absolutely.
So Jimmy, great call. Let's just maybe wrap out with 9 years in the business. How has your life changed?
Wow. We preface this with my background. A lot of my resume didn't say that I was going to have a lot of success, and there may be somebody listening right now that says, "But Jimmy, you don't know where I came from, or you don't know what the world says about me, or what I say about myself right now." And I know now, my wife able to leave her job. She was the breadwinner when we got together. God bless her. And we live in Dallas with 2 children now, and the fact that we have the freedom, time. I can't put a number on the fact that being our time is our own. That as my kids are about to turn 1 and 6, that I get to spend all the time I get to spend with them is up to me, how much I want to. And for me, that's the thing that's been the biggest blessing of this entire journey. That and the fact that I get to invest in other people. My success is literally only if I invest and help other people get actual results, Jeff. And it's such a fulfilling way to live a significant life as well.
Yeah, here. I couldn't even try to say that better. So thank you so much. Well, Jimmy, thank you for your time this morning, for your insight. Hope you have a great holiday. But I'll echo what you said with I hope everyone is going to use 2 and 1 as a valuable leverage time of the year. So I think that's the sticker of this call for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jimmy.